Hello everyone. Today we are going to see next tutorial, that is tutorial number 4, HTML CSS links and images. In that, HTML styles CSS, styling HTML with CSS. CSS stands for cascading style sheets. CSS describes how HTML elements are to be displayed on screen, paper or in other media. CSS saves a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. CSS can be added to HTML elements in three ways. Inline by using style attribute in HTML elements. Internal by using a style element in the head section. External means by using an external CSS file. The most common way to add CSS is to keep styles in separate CSS files. We will see in detail. Inline CSS. An inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. An inline CSS uses style attribute of an HTML element. Let's see this with the help of example. Inline.html. In body tag there is a h1 tag. H1 tag uses a attribute style which has property and value. Property is nothing but color and its value is blue. This CSS is nothing but inline CSS which is applied to this is a blue heading text. Let's run this. See this. This is H1 tag which has a text color blue. Next, internal CSS. An internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of an HTML page within a style element. Style attribute is mentioned in head section. Let's see. Internal.html. For h1 and p tag, we are applying CSS here. The style attribute is between under head section. For body tag, we are specifying CSS, that is background color to be power blue, and for h1 text color to be blue, and for p text color to be red. That means power blue is applied at background color of web page, and blue and red is applied to text color of h1 and p. Let's run this. Internal.html. See this, we can see the result. Next, external.css. An external style sheet is used to define the style for many HTML pages. With an external style sheet, you can change the look of an entire website by changing one file. That means we keep the style sheet separate, and HTML code is separate. Here we can see under head tag there is a link element. To use an external style sheet, add a link to it in the head section of the HTML page. The required relational attribute specifies the relationship between the current document and the linked document or resource. Style sheet imports style sheet. That means in head section we taken a link element which is nothing but a type of style sheet. href using href we can import the style.css and apply this CSS to this h1 and p tag. Let's see this, how to write CSS in separate file. For body tag, we mentioning background color to be power blue, and for h1 tag, text color to be blue, and for p tag, text color to be color red. uh, this code is to be saved as .css file, and this is normal HTML page. This style you will be going to applied on this text. Let's run and see the output. I can change this and see the result. That is, I can change text color to be pink, and let's run this. You can see this change here. Next we'll see CSS fonts. The CSS color property defines the text color to be used. The CSS font family property defines the font to be used, and the CSS font size property defines text size to be used. Let's run this. CSS fonts. We can see the example. For h1 and p tag, we are applying internal CSS. That is for text color of h1 to be blue, and font family to be wooden, and font size is 300%. And for p tag, color to be red, and font family is courier, and font size is 160%. CSS fonts. See this. This is the output. Next, CSS border. The CSS border property defines a border around an HTML element. And CSS padding. The CSS padding property defines a padding, that is space between the text and the border. Let's see this example. For p tag, we are applying border, that is 1 pixel solid. What is the style of border? That is solid. We can apply style like dash the, solid, etc. or border color to be power blue. For h1 tag, border is 1 pixel solid and red color, and padding is 330 pixel. We can see the output. See this. For heading, 1 pixel solid red color, 1 pixel length solid and red color, border is there, and padding 30 pixel means the space between text and border should be 30 pixel. We can change and see this. Let's do this 10 pixel and run. See this. Space is decreased, and we can make style to be dash. See this. Next, same is applied to paragraph tag, that is 1 pixel solid blue color. Next, CSS margin. The CSS margin property defines a margin, that is space outside the border. CSS margin. The paragraph tag contains a border 1 pixel solid power blue, and margin is applied as 50 pixel. Let's see the output. After that I will explain. See this. Margin is nothing but space between this this outside of border, that is this space. We can change and see the effect. XY coordinate, between XY coordinate and border outside, that is space between this is nothing but margin. Padding is nothing but space between border and text. Next, the ID attribute. To define a specific style for one special element, add an ID attribute to the element. If we want to apply CSS for specific element, you can use ID attribute. And to define a style for special type of elements, add a class attribute to the element. Let's see the example. ID. As usual, this is body tag and a body tag. There is a paragraph tags. First, we'll look at ID attribute. This is internal CSS. Whenever we apply CSS to the ID attribute, we specify it using hash. And hash ID is nothing but applying CSS to ID attribute. This is syntax for that. We can apply anything under this. Here we applied a text color to be blue for paragraph tag. Let's see, run this code. This is normal paragraph. We applied text color to be blue for ID for this paragraph ID hash p01. So I am different is colored to be. Next, this is normal. We applied CSS for paragraph type tag. Whenever we apply CSS for class, we mention the tag, and dot is a operator to apply CSS using class attribute. So that this is class name. See this p dot error is a class name which is applied to p tag. Text color to be red. We use this class name under p tag, that is p class equal to error. I am different. Using class attribute, we can apply same CSS whenever we require. Let's see this. This is I am different. This is I am different too. For both p tag, we had used the same CSS. If you want to apply unique CSS, then only use ID attribute. And if you want same CSS for multiple text, then you can use class attribute. Hash is a symbol to specify the style for ID attribute, and dot operator is a symbol to apply the CSS to a class. Next, we will see HTML links. Links allow users to click their way from page to page. HTML links, hyperlinks. HTML links are hyperlinks. You can click on a link and jump to another document. When you move the mouse over a link, the mouse arrow will turn into a little hand. Let's see this. HTML links. This is paragraph tag. Under this, we had given a link of styled attribute .html for this text. Let's run this HTML links.html. Run, that is HTML links.html. Whenever I click on that link, it will open a web page, and whenever I hover on that text, the hand symbol will be displayed. We'll see next, that is HTML link colors. By default, a link will appear like this in all browsers. An unvisited link is underlined and blue, visited link is underlined and purple, an active link is underlined and red. You can change default colors by using CSS. Let's see the example. HTML link colors.html. Under body tag there is a h2 tag p tag. Under this we have taken the anchor tag, and for link to be given to HTML CSS we taken href tag and value for that. We can change the colors of link. Before that we'll know about the pseudo classes, that is CSS pseudo classes. A pseudo class is used to define a special state of an element. For example, it can be used to style an element when a user mouses over it. Style visited and unvisited links differently. Style an HTML when it gets focus. Syntax of pseudo class will be selector colon pseudo class. Under curly braces there is a property and a value. Anchor pseudo classes. Links can be displayed in different ways. That is, this is an anchor tag, that means this is a selector and this is pseudo class. For selector there is a pseudo class is link. This is nothing but we are giving CSS for that link, that for unvisited link. If the link is unvisited, the text color to be displayed as green and background color is transparent, text decoration is none. Let's see this. See this. Before visiting, the text color of this HTML element is green. Next class. Whenever over the mouse on HTML CSS text to be displayed as red, and same background color is transparent and text decoration is underlined. See this. Whenever mouse over on that link, it displays text color as red and underline. Next, whenever link is visited, it immediately converts text color to be pink and background is transparent and text decoration is none. See this. It's quick change. After that, if link is active, the text color to be yellow and background color is transparent and text decoration is underline. See this, changes pink to yellow. Next, the links, HTML links, the target attribute. The target attribute specifies where to open the link document. The target attribute can have one of following values, that is blank, opens the link document in a new window or tab. Underscore self opens link document in the same window or tab as it was clicked. Underscore parent opens the link document in the parent frame. Underscore top opens the link document in the full body of the window. Frame name opens the linked document in a named frame. This is syntax. We can specify the target to be, that is link to be open, where to be open. Next we will see HTML links image as a link. It is common to use images as link. Code for that, see this. We had given a link of HTML link colors for the image smiley.gif. This is alternative attribute. If image is not exist, the text will be displayed for that image as HTML tutorial, and this is nothing but width, height and border for that image. Let's run this code. See this image links. The image is a link. You can click on it. Whenever I click on this image, it will open the link which is given in code. Next, we'll see HTML links. Create a bookmark. HTML bookmarks are used to allow readers to jump to specific parts of a web page. Bookmarks can also be useful if your web page is very long. To make a bookmark, you must first create the bookmark and then add a link to it. When the link is clicked, the page will scroll to the location with the bookmark. You can see this in example. See this. Under body tag, there is paragraph tag. Under this, we had taken anchor tag and given a link as hash C4. Hash means ID, and this is name for that. Jump to chapter 4. See this. Here we had taken ID, which is created over here as a reference to it. Whenever we click on this link, it will display this, means it makes this text as bookmarked. Let's see this HTML bookmark. Whenever we click on this link, it will takes us over this chapter 4. Say this. Next, HTML images. Wait a minute. HTML images. Images can improve the design and appearance of a web page. You can use style attribute to specify the width and height of an image. IMG this is a source of image. This is alternative attribute, and this is inline style. Alternatively, you can use the width and height attributes also, like this. Width equal to 500 and height equal to 600. Next, width and height or style, whichever is better to use. The width, height and style attributes are valid in HTML5. However, we suggest using style attribute. It prevents the style shift from changing the size of images. Let's see this with the help of example. This is a internal style. We are giving CSS, that is for IMG tag. The CSS applied is that width to be 100. Styling images. Whenever we had used width and height attribute to be 128 pixels, the below image has a width attribute set to 128 pixel, but the style sheet overrides it and sets the width to 100 pixel. Even I took as 1288 pixel, it doesn't affect to that image. You can see this here. it the width is set to 100% only. If you use style attribute and value for that width is 100 pixel, you can see this change. The style attribute overrides the style sheet of this internal CSS. We can see next image floating. Use CSS float property to let the image float to the right or left of a text. See this. For these two images, under style attribute, you are specifying the floating property as left or right. See the example, floating image. This is image which is float to right, and this is image which is float to left. Next, image maps. The map tag defines an image map. An image map is an image with clickable areas. See the code. Under body tag, there is an image tag. We had specified one image and used the attribute use map for this. This is a value hash work map. This is a name of map which is taken over here, and we are specified the width and height for that image. Under map there is a area tag and which has attribute shape, and it had values like rectangle and circle. If shape of image is rectangle and coordinates between these, then it will display computer.html web page, and same like for further values. Let's run this image dot image maps. Run. Browse from here. Image maps.html and run this. Whenever I click the area which is rectangle, then it will display information regarding that computer. If I click on this coffee which is circle, then it will display information regarding coffee. And if I click on rectangular which is coordinate under that specific values, then it will display the information about that phone. The name attribute of the map tag is associated with the image use map attribute and creates a relationship between the image and the map. The map element contains number of area tags that define the clickable areas in the image map. Next, background image. To add a background image on an HTML element, use a CSS property background image. Let's see. The background image is applied using this URL to the body of HTML web page. Let's see. Background image body. Background image is applied to whole body of web page. If you want image to be applied only to particular area or specific area, you can mention over it. See this, the background image is applied to only paragraph tag. See this, here not applied. Next, the picture element. The picture element contains a number of source elements, each referring to different image sources. This way, the browser can choose the image that best fits the current view and or device. Each source element have attributes describing when their image is the most suitable. The source will use the first source element with matching attribute values and ignore any following source elements. HTML5 introduced picture element to add more flexibility when specifying image resources. Let's run this picture.html. See this. Under head section there is a meta tag. Under this there is a name and content attribute. We had specified the picture attribute. Under this there is a source. If media minimum width is 650 pixels, then display this image ping class. If width is 465 pixels, then display the white flower. Otherwise, by default, display the orange flower. Let's run this example. Picture.html. For default width, this is for width is means whole width is there. Then display the pink tree. Otherwise pink class, otherwise display white class. Then if screen is small, then display the orange flower. References. Thank you for watching this video.